we finally have more information about Pokemon Champions thanks to the July 2025 Pokemon Presents. And today I want to go through a deep dive of the Pokemon Champions part of the presentation, everything we've missed, kind of my biggest takeaways, everything in between. This is a game that I am super excited about, maybe even more excited about than I am for Pokemon Legends CA. And so I wanted to dive properly into it here. Hey everyone, this is Connor here at Pokemon House, and let's get into it.
Some information about Pokemon Champions.
All right.
Pokemon Champions. In this title, you can enjoy the battles you know and love from the Pokemon series on your Nintendo Switch or mobile device.
First of all, just the battle interface looks really good. I don't know, I can't remember in previous trailers if we've seen actual true battle gameplay before, but it does look really nice. You see you've got the, how many Pokemon you've got left, obviously just normal battle stance otherwise. You get a little escape, leave the battle here, some info, you've got a timer. So there will be kind of a timer involved. Again, thinking about this, a lot of what this is meant to replace is Pokemon Showdown, honestly. I think that's kind of the main thing it takes out. So think of this as just a much nicer Pokemon Showdown. The only thing my big face is covering up is the switching Pokemon symbol there, by the way. I'll try to make sure I don't cover anything up.
You can invite your previous Pokemon partners to join the action by linking with Pokemon Home.
Doubles.
Or you can find new partners to battle alongside you right away from within Pokemon Champions.
All right.
You can recruit.
I want to talk a lot about this. One, because this looks awesome. Let's try and get
Pokemon to your
ahead
team to
a
battle
little bit.
alongside you. It's up to you which Pokemon to choose. Recruit Pokemon your...
Yeah, right here. So, pretty cool. You're going to be able, it looks like, I don't know if this is going to be permanently free, but you can rent a Pokemon for free for 7 days. So there's going to be, basically, again, how you get Pokemon in this game is a question I've been asking for a while. I've been really interested to see, I don't have a lot of Pokemon in Pokemon Home, but I'm going to be very excited to battle, so what am I going to do? It looks like you're going to be able to rent for 7 days for free, and then it's going to be 1,000 VP to permanently unlock a Pokemon. Similar to unlocking a hero or a champion in League of Legends or a game like that, right? There probably, there should be a real world cost associated with VP, so it's unclear right now how much it's going to actually cost to unlock a Pokemon. However, it is really nice that you're going to at least be able to rent them for 7 days. That should allow you to, at least for the most part, try out Pokemon, build teams around them, etc. But this kind of answers that question I've been wondering of how are we actually going to get Pokemon in this game? Now it's also not clear right now how many Pokemon are going to be available to kind of purchase or rent in game. We don't have just a ton of information on that yet from the trailer, but let's keep going.
Interested in and form a team. Then it's finally time for Pokemon battles.
Yep. So let's kind of look at that really quick again.
Pokemon you're interested in and form a team. Then it's fine.
Right here, so we got you're kind of your box here. So I'm guessing you'll have multiple of these. This is just going to kind of be your general interface for all things having to do with your team. All it's missing here is the ability, but yeah, this honestly this looks pretty standard. You have your stats here. We're gonna get into those more later, but you even have your your stat points, your looks like your IVs over here. But this is going to be a question I have: are these numbers here IVs? Are they just stat points? We'll get into that a little later.
Finally time for Pokemon battles.
Battles.
You can enjoy ranked battle.
Okay, so kind of the classic, when you go to play a ranked battle, it's going to be, this is probably in a, I don't know, it looks like they're picking 3, so maybe this is a 3 Pokemon singles tournament. That's what this looks like. So you're going to be able to see at least the sprite of the Pokemon you're battling against, as well as their typing. But I don't know that you're going to be able to see much else about them. But this makes sense. This is almost reminiscent of a Pokemon Stadium.
that let you face off against trainers from around the world, as well as private battles where you can take on family and friends with greater immersion than ever before. Take on thrilling matches in single battles and double battles.
Yeah, obviously exciting. They confirmed doubles and singles. This is practically a given, but nice to see it kind of in actuality here.
Finally, we'd like to introduce you to a new way to raise Pokemon that lets you enjoy battles even more.
This is what I'm really interested in right here. This is like, I think, the biggest part of it.
Pokemon Champions offers ways.
All right, so this looks super, super interesting right away. So it looks like, I'm going to take away my big face here, move over here. It looks like instead of EVs and IVs, it looks like there are just stat points now. So it almost looks like this is a simplified way to handle EVs in the game. And now, the more I look at this, this is definitely just a replacement for EVs. So the standard kind of EV spread for those that are at least somewhat new to Pokemon VGC is you put 252 in one stat, 252 in another, and you have 4 left over. I forget what that total is, but that's kind of the total number of EVs you have to play around with, right? And it's exactly the same here, it looks like. This person went from having kind of 32 HP, 32 special attack, 2 special defense, to looks like now they're toggling around and moving those around. So I kind of like it. I mean, it's, you know, EVs and IVs have always been way too overcomplicated for me for what they actually are. And so these stat points look to be just a refreshing kind of simplified change of pace. It also looks like this is going to cost money for you to kind of respec your Pokemon. Now let's kind of look at maybe a little bit more into this, right?
To make raising your Pokemon more flexible and convenient than ever.
Okay, so like right there, we're seeing whoever, I forget, I can't see which Pokemon this is. I'm assuming it's Gardevoir, but Gardevoir is going from having a max HP stat, or stat bonus rather, stat points, to now all going into speed, and you should be able to see the the total number change. So we're going from like 160 HP down to 143, and now it looks like this is going to be allocated to speed, taking it from 100 up to 132. And that's the cap for stat points you can allocate for that thing. And it looks like it's going to cost 64 VP to do that. So 2 VP per stat swapped, basically. But this will be a way, essentially, this is really common in like Pokemon Showdown. If you're playing like a Pokemon that you think you want to run in a speedy kind of way, let's say I have like a Salamence or something, I want to run it like with a Choice Scarf, speed focused, you can obviously do that. But then if you want to go in like a Trick Room team, you might want to slow it down, add some bulk, add some more attack. That's something that, again, you just be able to respec within the game here. It's pretty cool. It'll be interesting to see if you could like save builds. I don't think you can from the looks of it. You're going to be able to have your Pokemon one way. You have to change them, but still.
Teach your Pokemon moves that interest you. Then train your Pokemon to make them.
Okay, so this is an interesting screen right here. This kind of shows us a lot of what we're talking about here. So overall, the training here, as we can see, costs 164 VP. And where they're getting that cost is, I'll move myself over here, is 100 VP for what looks like a new move. So Psychic is being added, and then 64 VP for those stat swaps. Obviously, we have the Modest Nature here too, Synchronizability. So yeah, new moves, kind of expensive, a little surprising, but it looks like basically to fully build a Pokemon, you could probably expect to pay anywhere from like 200 to 500 VP. So net, probably about 1500 VP to purchase and kind of fully build out a Pokemon. But this is honestly a super fascinating system, right? I think this is like the thing I will be toggling around with the most, and I think, you know, VGC folks are going to be very excited about. Just obviously a simplified way to get into battle. I mean, I think this is a really nice, easy way for new players to be able to kind of get into how battling works in Pokemon Champions. It's a lot more accessible. So, let's see what else we got.
Most of them. Recruit and train to easily enjoy Pokemon battling.
Yep, let me go back and look at that. There's a lot there. Horrible time for a drink of water.
Then train your Pokemon to make the most of them. Recruit and train to easily enjoy Pokemon.
So a change in nature is 200 VP, as you can see there. and a change in ability is 400. So in total, 764
Pokemon battling.
to train there. So that's, I mean, yeah, so maybe a little bit more than what I was thinking, but still.
Bringing Pokemon battles to everyone. Pokémon Champions. Planned to release in 2026.
All right, planned to release in 2026. Could come earlier, could come later. A little bit bummed that this isn't coming out a little sooner, but I understand with the staggered release of ZA coming out in October. This probably comes out early, quarter 1, quarter 2 of 26, and then we get Gen 10 down the line from there. So all in all, I think the kind of the tagline of this game is battling for everyone. I think that's exactly what it's looking like it's going to be. I'm so excited for this though. I've always loved Showdown. I've been playing on Pokemon Showdown since like 2010. It's a cool site, but we've always wanted something from Pokemon in this regard, like some kind of battling software that's just very clear, very easy to use. This is going to be mobile and Switch, so it should be really, really intuitive to use. It'd be interesting to see if they ever did like a web component to this as well to truly just shut down Pokemon Showdown at that point. But yeah, a lot to like here overall. I'm super excited for this game. The training element looks really good. Battling looks like Pokemon Stadium, and it just feels like a really good Pokemon battling start. So I think that's the end of this trailer. Yep. Then you get into Legends ZA and all that from there. But thank you all so much for tuning in. I just wanted to dive into this, give my first thoughts and impressions, kind of break down everything I've seen. But we're going to be covering a lot more Pokemon stuff for Pokemon Presents here at the Pokemon House today. So be sure to like and subscribe for more. As soon as we get news of any kind about Pokemon games like this, we are going to be covering it here on the channel. So make sure to stick around for that. And like I said, like and subscribe. We're a brand new Pokemon channel and would love your support. So as always, thank you all for tuning in. From our house to yours, we'll see you all next time here at Pokemon House.